The billionaire's wife poured wine on the CEO during the gala, a bold, shocking gesture meant to humiliate, assert dominance, and broadcast her anger in a room full of elite peers, and for a split second, the world seemed to freeze, the crystal chandeliers reflecting the red splash as gasps rippled through the crowd, because no one had expected such audacity, least of all the man standing there, stunned. Dignity momentarily drenched, while cameras flashed, capturing every detail for the whispers and headlines that would inevitably follow. At first, she smiled, convinced her power and wealth insulated her from consequences, believing that a simple apology, charm, or status could erase the spectacle and preserve her influence. But the universe often works in ironic precision, and within seconds, the careful web she had spun around her empire began to unravel, revealing cracks hidden beneath the surface of her lavish lifestyle, her business deals, and the networks she had manipulated for years. The CEO, instead of retreating in embarrassment, handled the moment with calm authority, signaling to his team and board members to remain composed while quietly documenting the incident, not for revenge, but to ensure accountability, knowing that every act, no matter how small or theatrical, carries consequences when visibility, reputation, and ethics collide, and that the billionaire's wife had overstepped in a way that exposed not just poor judgment, but vulnerability. Within hours, key investors and partners who had once admired her decisiveness began re-evaluating their alliances, noticing inconsistencies in her management, overextension in her acquisitions, and questionable financial decisions that had been hidden beneath layers of opulence, prestige, and charm, and suddenly, the woman who had thought herself untouchable faced a wave of skepticism, doubt, and retreat from those whose support had been critical to sustaining her empire. Her public outburst became a symbol, amplified by social media, industry analysts, and journalists, a moment scrutinized for signs of temperament, stability, and judgment, and every misstep, every questionable investment, every hidden risk she had taken, now drew attention, cascading like dominoes in a pattern she could no longer control, while the CEO, whose calm and professionalism had remained intact, gained not only sympathy but respect, admiration, and increased influence among peers and stakeholders, proving that composure in moments of chaos is more powerful than wealth or intimidation. By the end of the week, boardrooms, shareholder meetings, and private discussions had shifted dramatically. Partners withdrew support, contracts were renegotiated, and assets she had relied upon began to lose value, all triggered by a single impulsive act of pride, while she watched, powerless, as the empire she had spent years building fractured under scrutiny, financial pressure, and loss of trust. A stark lesson in how quickly perceived power can vanish when hubris replaces prudence. Reflecting on the incident, she understood that influence, reputation, and legacy are fragile, sustained not only by money, connections, or bravado, but by judgment, restraint, and foresight, and that no wealth or status can shield someone from the consequences of impulsive actions that undermine credibility and trust. And in the quiet aftermath, she faced the reality that rebuilding would require humility, strategy, and the patience to restore confidence she had destroyed in seconds. Meanwhile, the CEO moved forward, not with vengeance, but with the validation that calm authority, professionalism, and ethical conduct outweigh spectacle, theatrics, or intimidation, and the event became a defining lesson for everyone who witnessed it. That moments of impulsive pride can destroy empires, that composure carries power far beyond money, and that true respect is earned not through status or theatrics, but through consistency, integrity, and the ability to navigate chaos without losing control, leaving the billionaire's wife to confront the irony that her own hands, dripping with wine, had poured away everything she thought was untouchable.